I had to drop out, guys. Yesterday, actually. It's very fresh still in my heart. Hola, amigos, and welcome to today's mukbang. For today's mukbang, we have Canadian food because I miss Canada. I was only there for 2 weeks, but I miss it. We have poutine. And
Here's the gravy.
I know there's a missing part in here. Right now, there's fries, homemade French fries. And then cheese. There's mixture of vegan cheese and real cheese. And then of course we cannot forget
We'll do that.
the gravy. I know you're not supposed to, it's usually not this much, like you don't put that much in.
I've seen it on TikTok. They put a lot.
Oh yeah, but I like it when it's a lot, and Mama likes it too. So we pour. You like it too, right?
Yeah.
Or you do that first?
I fried the chicken and then I used the leftover oil to make the gravy, and then
we can always add more.
What?
Over here we have chicken made by Mama, and from the chicken that's how we made the gravy. And then also homemade, what?
We made the gravy.
Then homemade cookies made by Mother. So we also have extra gravy show. Yum. So let's try before we move on to the big topic today.
She has a surprise.
Yeah.
2 surprises.
Well, the first one is not good because as you can see on the title, I had to drop out. But before we get to that point, oh, can you see this, guys? This looks exactly like poutine.
Oh, did you say I made peanut butter cookies?
Look, there's a pull. A very small pull, but it's a pull.
Is that mine?
No, it's mine. Okay, cool. Guys, look at this. There's gonna be a pull. Right?
I watched this Great Depression cooking by Clara, and she made sugar cookies, but I changed it a bit. I added oatmeal and then peanut butter.
See, there is pulls. Can you see that? Look, it's a very thin pull, you know, but
it's because it's mostly vegan.
this is exactly what poutine is supposed to look like. Usually the cheese in Canada that I had with the poutine was squeaky. I don't know why, but look, hola,
Squeaky. I made a gravy.
Oh, guys.
Is it approved?
Yeah.
I kept on asking her, is it approved?
You know, guys, my favorite thing in Canada that I ate was poutine.
It's already 1:30 p.m. We started at 10:30.
Oh. Did you try dipping the chicken?
Yeah.
Was it good? Oh. What I love about poutine is that it's all bad stuff for you. It's cheese and fries and gravy.
It's homemade everything though.
Yeah.
I mean, the chicken had some spices, but I put more, like garlic.
Do you know how poutine became poutine?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No.
All I knew before is that it's from Canada. But apparently, in the 1950s, that's when it first appeared. At this one restaurant, this guy, the owner of the restaurant, he was putting fries in a bag, and his regular customer said, add cheese curds to it. And he said in French, this was in Quebec, he said in French that it's gonna make a big mess.
Is
And,
that the meaning of poutine? Mess?
That's what some people say it is, but not really. It's not really a French word. There is a French word that sounds like poutine, but not. Do you know it? It's a bad word. It's spelled P-U-T-I-N, like poutine.
I studied French, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a bad word. WH. Bad word.
It is quite close.
But they pronounce it differently. Anyways.
What's the connection now?
Doesn't have a connection. And then later on, they started adding gravy to it to keep warm.
It's really like...
And then it turned into poutine.
Like a casserole.
It is a big mess though.
Maria has a problem with chicken.
I have a problem with drumsticks.
Annoying.
I cannot handle.
Only because we watch Shakira. And because of the veins in the chicken.
I can't have the
and she
veins.
said she can't eat chicken because Shakira because they're cute.
But you know, it's not only that. I don't really like chicken.
You
has
used to eat drumstick.
You know, people, they change taste buds, you know?
I'm not sure about that.
Because chicken has this taste. Same with eggs. It has this taste to it. Unlike with pork. Guys, we got new ice. It's shaped in a diamond. It's guava flavor. Anyways. No. Cookie. This is
Peanut butter.
Renaissance cookies.
Great Depression cookie by Clara.
Guys, it's so gooey. And then the edges are crispy. It's perfect.
Hers
It has peanut butter.
Oatmeal and peanut butter and vanilla sugar.
So as I've said for the past weeks, let me pour myself some more. Oh, we're gonna finish this really fast. As I said, these past weeks I've been telling you guys about, oh, I'm gonna start school soon, pastry school, and I will bring you guys along. And I showed you guys at the school. I took the dyslexia test. I did everything, and we bought laptop. You guys have seen it all. Now, once you get accepted into a college, you think, oh, you're gonna start there and everything is fine now because you've prepared so much and you got the acceptance letter. I had to drop out, guys. Yes, yesterday actually. It's very fresh still in my heart. So yesterday I had to drop out. Do you know why? Because here in Denmark there's this thing called SU. And SU is the student allowance for people who live here in Denmark. So for Danish citizens, 100% they will get it. Then EU citizens can also get the SU if they've lived in Denmark for the past 5 years. Now I misunderstood this rule because I'm a Swedish citizen. I misunderstood this rule. I thought they meant 5 years, and those 5 years are all in all, in total.
Just like when we bought this house.
Yeah, tell them more.
When we bought this house, we were afraid that they would say for the past 5 years. But we said, we lived here for 8 years before. We're Swedish, and then now we came back. And they're okay with it.
Yeah,
Take your plant enzyme. So, at first I was afraid when Maria said, oh yeah, the SU is okay. And I said, so they didn't mean past 5 years. And then she said, oh well, it's like a house. And the school said it's okay.
So, because when we bought this apartment, we were worried we couldn't get it because there is this 5-year rule. But it's about 5 years all in all. School, apparently, it's the past 5 years. And because I was so worried, I did make sure to call the school. And I asked them, because I had already sent in my application and everything. And I just wanted to double check. And I asked them, so can I get SU even though I only moved back here in 2021? And she can see on the computer, because here in Denmark there's this thing called CPR. It's your social security number, kind of the same thing, except the CPR is more detailed. So everything you've done in your life, if you've gotten married, if you've been to the hospital, gone to the school.
It's just red tape.
It's all connected. Yeah, it's all connected, so they can see everything. Then so she saw that I had just moved back 2 years ago, but she still told me that, oh yeah, you can get the ESU.
You should get it before.
Yeah, and I had to apply for this thing called Lee-Stilling. So I am on the same level field of the Danes. And so I sent that in, and then I was like, oh, I guess everything's fine, because she said, I mean, she works at the ESU office. So it's like, maybe I can get the ESU.
That's just red tape.
After that, I wasn't thinking so much about it, because I was like, oh, I guess it's okay. But then a few days ago, I got this message that my ungdomskort, which is a youth card, I guess you would call it. Everyone who are students get this card.
But bus card.
Yeah, not only a bus card, but it's also for student discounts. It's a student discount card. And so I was applying for this travel card, which would be way cheaper than just buying it without this ungdomskort.
400 crowns instead of 1,007.
Yeah, so a month. And so I applied for that thinking, oh, I'll still get this even if they don't allow the ESU for me. But then they said I can't get the travel card because I can't get ESU. It's connected. Oh, guys, when I found that out, I was like, oh no, I cannot go to this school. I can't because it's so far away from us. It's almost 2 hours away, and it costs so much to travel that far. I started thinking like, oh, I can't go to school, I don't think, because the next time I can apply for ESU would be 3 years from now. And knowing myself, I wouldn't want to go back to school when I'm 30 plus. Because if you guys don't know, I hate school, and even just going there now as a 28-year-old makes me cringe. But I feel like it's more acceptable than at 30 plus, even though I know you can go back to school at 60. I decided I had to drop out because it's too expensive. So I was thinking I should just, you know, start working at Netto. It's a grocery store. Or just start working at whatever job I can get as an uneducated person. I don't know how to say that, how you translate it. It's called
unskilled.
Ufaulært. So unskilled, as an unskilled person. And in the US, it's so normal. You just go and get a job and you can go high up even if you haven't studied anything. Like you can go in and start as a baker, and then eventually you can become like the boss or something. You can't do that here. And I was so depressed because I felt like such a failure. I felt like I should have known.
You were not a failure.
No, but I felt like one. Tell me more so I can eat.
I told her it doesn't matter if she studies, go work. Doesn't matter. Her worth is not connected to that. But she was ashamed. So, but then there's another surprise.
So yesterday I was talking to the school. I had to talk to so many people, and guys, I have phone anxiety. And I started like getting so itchy all over because I was stressed out.
She can handle chatting online.
On the phone, it's so stressful. I mean, you don't like it either, but
I don't like it either. And especially since we have to speak Danish.
That's another thing. And oh, when they were asking for my CPR number, I had the hardest time. Not asking for my CPR number. When they were giving me the phone number to the next person I had to talk to, I had the hardest time. Because one person said it really fast, and numbers here in Denmark, it's so confusing.
Like French. You add something, but it's not really.
Yeah, but then, I know the numbers, guys, but you can't tell me the numbers so quickly. So I had to write it down with words instead of the numbers. And then later, like, translate it. After all of those calls, actually, the day before, Mama was like, you could also just go to a school closer by for the grundforløb. So basically the way Ever schools work, Ever schools, guys, it's the vocational school. So the way it works is there is this thing called grundforløb. So it's first sem, I guess you would say first sem. It's 20 weeks. You do that if you're straight out of grade 9. But if you're above if you've been away from grade 9 for the past 2 years, if you graduated 2 years ago, so basically when you're 19 or 20-ish, you go straight to Grundförlöp 2. It didn't used to be like this though, because when I went to Grundförlöp 1, I was with 40-year-olds and they've graduated years ago. So I don't know why they changed it.
Graphic design.
Yeah. So Grundförlöp 2, I can't speak English now. The second sem is also 20 weeks, and that's the one I have to go into. And then after that, there is, depending on how many years you're going, there is Huvudförlöp, which is the main sem, and it's worth 1 year each. So like what I'm gonna do is 4 years, so there's 4 years of this. It doesn't really translate. She's walking her cat again. There's this woman walking her cat, guys, and it's the cutest thing ever.
Without a leash.
Without a leash. So Huvudförlöp, that's 4 years. It could be 3 years or 2 years, you know. And before you end Grundförlöp, before you end the second sem, guys, you have to get an internship depending on the course you're doing. But for baking and pastry, which is what I'm taking, I have to get an internship before sem 2 ends, so I can start my Huvudförlöp. Without it, I cannot start, I cannot continue. And there is no school internship. For the other degrees,
not for baking, so if you don't, so if she doesn't get it now before August, because that's when it starts, then she will have to apply again January. But if she doesn't get that, then she will just work.
It's too late to apply in January.
No, I mean, if you don't get an internship by January, then she would just work, because it's unlikely that she will get internship in 3 years. Like for example, she stops now, not now, but in December at the end of the first sem, and then she works and then wait for the 3 years, so she will get the allowance. It's very unlikely she will get it then, because it's always hard to get an internship. And now is the best time because of Christmas, and then later after or before summer.
It's Christmas because it snowed, guys. It looks like Christmas. Because of all of that, when Mama said, oh, you should just go to the Grundförlöp here in Copenhagen, because with the second sem of the Grundförlöp, so let me just say sem 2 because Grundförlöp sounds so confusing. Sem 2, which is what I'm gonna go into, you can do that in any of the baking and pastry schools, in any of them. But the main part, which is the 4 years, you have to do at this school, which is the school I was applying to, which is 2 hours away from me. So eventually I will have to go there to the school I'm applying.
Yeah, but
I applied
like
to.
short periods, like 1 week, 2 weeks.
But the 4 years, guys, that is a mixture of internships and school, and but you're mostly in internships. So you go to the school like for 2-3 weeks, and then rest.
Like for theory, but you also have like
not only theory,
baking.
Yeah. So when Mama said that, something clicked in my brain, because I wanted to go to this school here in Copenhagen, guys. Originally, I wanted to go to this school I'm applying to. I wanted to go to this school here in Copenhagen before, but I didn't end up doing it because I wanted to just go straight to the school I'm going to go to for the 4 years, because I don't have to go to 2 different schools. But because of this issue,
because this one, Copenhagen one, is closer.
Yeah, because of this issue we have, it would be way cheaper if I do the 20 weeks of the sem 2 here in Copenhagen, because I actually could bike to it and it would be free, but Mama wants me to take the bus. It would still be cheaper though than going all the way to the one which is 2 hours away. When I thought about it, it was easier for me to just switch straight away, because I already know a lot about this school. So what I did, I applied earlier today. So I'm not a dropout anymore. I applied again. I dropped out and then dropped back in, but in another school. And this school,
it's not really a dropout because you haven't started.
Transfer.
Yeah, so it's like a transfer.
And this school in Copenhagen, I loved it from the start, because
Show that.
It's
She
quite
crocheted
big. Yeah, it's quite big. And you're with, it's the whole school, it's all about food. With the school that's 2 hours away, they have a mixture of multimedia and...
But you will still go back there. But it won't be so long.
Yeah. Because I don't like how it feels really enclosed. And I felt claustrophobic because always we're so tiny. It made me think of 9th grade. And I didn't like my 9th grade.
When can you apply for the internship? After 2 weeks?
After I've been accepted. So right now there's a waiting period of around 2 weeks usually. And then they will call me and tell me I'm accepted. And I'm not being like overly confident, guys. Everyone gets accepted.
Yeah.
Instead of beginning in April, I was gonna start in April 11th.
No.
It will be in August 7th. Then another twist to this saga. The reason why also I decided to do this was because I talked to the school counselor for all of the schools. So it's at this website called ug.dk, and you can get a lot of info on there. It's all about all of the schools in Denmark and all of the different degrees, and you can talk to a school counselor even in the weekends. And this counselor, it's like it's no strings attached kind of deal.
You chat, right? Online.
So you don't have to be enrolled anywhere to talk to her or him. And you don't even have to be a student. You don't have to be a certain age. You can just chat with them.
Everything goes smoothly.
They're like therapists too.
One cried, right? You said?
I've talked to a lot of them. And
before.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of them, and last year was so stressful, and so I you know, told some of them about what happened, and one of them cried. So they're like therapists. And then when I talked to this girl yesterday,
a lot.
Yesterday, was it yes? No, 2 days ago, I talked to this one counselor on the chat, and she was suggesting that I start at this school here in Copenhagen. And then because I can't get SU, most people who can't get that, they will end up not studying. And the cost of living here is really high, guys. So you can't just not work or not get any money from nowhere. So they will start working, or if they will start working, or they will move back home, but not many want to do that. What she suggested was I start at this school and I apply for the pre-internship straight away. Now the pre-internship, it's an internship you can get before even becoming a student, as long as you've already applied and got accepted. So so you can apply at these internships and they will pay you now. You will start now. Like technically, like let's say for me, and I get somebody say yes to me, and I become their intern at a bakery, and I start now.
Would someone get that even without any connection to them?
You don't have to have a connection.
No, I mean, doesn't that usually happen if you're friends with a
Yeah, but it not always, because there's this website, Studio something, where the accepted ones are there. You can only apply to accepted ones. So even if you're friends with this Mr. Baker, if it's not accepted by the Ministry of Education, you cannot do that. They have to get acceptance, because you have to learn.
You might get it because it's almost summer.
Yeah, you have to learn these certain things. They have to teach you certain things at the internship. You can't just like go there and all you do is pipe cupcakes. It has to be like a variety of things, because you're supposed to learn there.
Yeah.
So anyways, if let's say I get an internship and I start right now, I would get paid right now. And then once I start the SEM 2, I will still get paid, even if I don't have the SU allowance. So I would still get paid throughout studying. By the bakery, the internship place, not school. So I would still be eligible for that. And so basically they're paying me to study. And then when the main courses begin, the hovedforløp, that's 4 years, and the mixture of the internship and school, I would still get paid. Even when I'm in school, in the internship, I will still get paid. So that would be the best case scenario. The worst case scenario would be they would say that no, we cannot pay for the SEM 2. How do you say 2? 1, 2, 3. 2. I can't say 2. 2. The worst case scenario is they would say we cannot pay for the second SEM of the grundförlöp. We can only pay for the main huvudförlöp, which is they have to pay for that one. You can't not pay for that one because that is the mixture, the 4 years. That's fine too. If they say that, then it's better than nothing.
Case scenario is that you don't get any.
Okay, I was trying to be, positive. The worst case scenario is not even a good scenario. It's failure. That means I didn't get an internship anywhere.
It's a bit confusing. Maria is depressed about this because she doesn't want to. She never wanted to study more than grade 12. So she's finished grade 12. But I guess she doesn't like being rejected.
I don't like being rejected. I have this issue.
But I mean, I asked her the other day if she's nervous applying for a job, and she said no.
No, not for applying for jobs. Before when I had this Skype Skype interview with this company, remember? And I was nervous, but I was more excited than nervous. Unlike with school, I get really scared. I don't know why.
But she still got depressed, so that's weird.
The worst case scenario, which hopefully doesn't happen, is I will not get an internship even in the SEM 2, which is 20 weeks, which will be from August to December-ish. If I don't get an internship before that ends, I will not be able to continue on to the 4 years.
No, so we should just finish.
If that happens, that I can't continue on, and I tried my best, always applying and trying my best to get in
then
some
it wasn't
internship.
Meant to be, I think.
Yeah, then maybe I'm just forcing something that shouldn't happen, Maybe if I really force it, I'll end up bald or something. I don't know. My hair catches on fire. I don't know. So if that happens, then at least I can add that in my CV that I did the SEM 2, and then
SEM 1. Oh, SEM 2. I'm confused.
Yeah, at least I can add that in my CV, and that's not nothing. That's still a lot, and I can add that, and then
especially
when I apply,
if you apply to a bakery.
When I apply, they will be like, oh, she knows something at least. I mean, I will be fine either way, but I'm happy I'm doing this so that at least I can say that I tried. Thanks for watching, guys. Gracias por ver. Adios.
Bye. Adios.
That's it?
Give me.
I don't know I want to.